The pilgrim's journey continues. This is a continuation of the last video that you saw when I struggled to arrive in to Munster, being a first time travel by public means from the airport Schiphol all the way to Hague and into Munster. Now, the safe arrival is just welcomed by an action moment. Now, this is the second day, and the day is not going to be wasted at all, and it's time to find out, investigate really, and find out what's there in Monster and why is it called Monster. So Monster is a small town in the Hollandic province of Southern Holland, a part of the Westland, and it is a community, and it lies about 10 kilometers southwest of The Hague. Visit, I went looking for Saint Machutus. It's a church. It was difficult to pronounce. Then I bumped into a synagogue and another church, the Maranatha Church, and eventually I found the church that we are looking for, but it was totally closed, so we couldn't see anything in it. Now, it's very sad narrating these stories because all the videos that I took really got destroyed in the camera and in the computer. I had to change my computer and I have nothing to show for this. So the narration is actually what I have. And this was one of the most precious journeys in Holland. And I really feel sad, but I think you'll bear with me and just take the narration and we'll be able to understand what was going on. Well, looking so well, I saw that Monster was a real fine village. It houses about 11,000 to 11,500 people. And out of that, most of it, you can call it 14,500 plus foreigners. So it's not so wide. It's about like 20 kilometers, of which roughly 5.7 kilometers is all water. Monster combines two tiny towns, that is Poeldik and Ter Heide, and all on the northern sea coast. And they have a popular beach where I personally swam under -2 degrees centigrade in the popular beach. Reared goats and old cannons. Actually, I stood there by the cannons and I had to check the angles in which they were shooting. We saw a hotel, a lot of greenhouses, which produces much food. You can't believe that village has enough greenhouses just within it there that produces much food that it can supply to its residents and also export. Then I gathered a little history that was behind the name of Monster. So there, I had to consult my my host Debbie, so that she could be able to help me with the narration, because she's lived there and she knows much more what is going on there. And we had to cool down into the beach to get the in the 13th century. Greater Westlands, that was Loosduynen and The Hague. It was all governed by Munster, or rather, it was the administration was from Munster. When The Hague became big and it was constructed, then a split was made in The Hague, Ambacht. Ambacht. My pronunciation in Dutch is very, very nasty. And half of Loosduynen went on the side, and Hague, the Ambacht, went on one side. Then Loosduynen was separated from Munster in around 1812. That's what I got to learn. Then I traced the remains of the glory in between the Hague and the monster. It's such a beautiful, amazing scenes, but it's quite unfortunate that I lost all the pictures. And for those who have been in Holland, you can get this kind of information in such estates as Ockenberg, Bloemendaal, and Solenveld, and Langeveld. Around that area, you can be able to gather so much. And um, I was there gathering all the all history. Then I gathered also the name monster was actually derived from the Latin word monasterium, which means a monastery, and that which was used as a ground of the largest church. That it was actually a Dutch word, monster, simply translated as a big church. It was like a pilgrim church center for the Machutus. And it was actually a parish where some of the relics of its patron Machutus uh, were. I mean, it was also known as Machut. I don't know the old Machut, the old Dutch word. So people came from all over distances in all the provinces of Netherlands, and they came there to be healed. And I think that during that period there was a rampant disease of epilepsy and many other common diseases. And in the monastery, or rather in the church, there was the Machutus could pray, and they would get healed. So the place really got popular. Now, other versions were also like big ships came there attacking, and the cannons that I showed you were set to blow them up. And I stood by the cannons to see the shooting range and the mysterious. And then somebody also came up with I think it's in the Wikipedia if somebody looks at it, that mysterious creatures emerged from the sea. Others saw a man, a very huge man, going from the water touching up the sky, and they believe that was a monster, and they think that's how the place got the name. Then others also have a different worker. I saw the finest material, and it was the finest finish I've ever seen. And I mean, it just blew my mind up. Behind me stood the tower, and we had to walk into the tower, and that tower was made to understand is where the military would stand watching what kind of ships are coming to dock as part of the security, and then they would alert about the danger. And uh, the place was shut. The place was shut, and we were not able to see it. I mean, it was during winter play period, and all we could do is to see it from outside. And then another sad thing that happened is I went quite close to it and took pictures of it, took videos of it, but the pictures got, I mean, the videos got lost. So all I have to show right now is this kind of pictures that I took from afar from it. I mean, that's very, very sad. Say it for it. I mean, I had such a marvelous view as I was going down towards the sea and even out. There was such marvelous views. There was this a chair, the mosaic chair put by the beach, and one would sit there, and it you can see it. It's done out of the small mosaics, marble stones, and a picture of a lady lying down there. I thought that was great work. I thought that was great work, and I couldn't help sitting there and taking a photo outside there. Before that, before getting even to the beach, we had passed through the windmill, and the windmill also was shut, and it had specific days in which it would open, but not specific period, not in that specific period that I'd booked my ticket to be there. But however, I went enjoying the scene and sat a bit on the mosaic chair, and along the route we found that they were rearing goats, and a lot of construction was also going there in the public parking, because I think they were preparing for the summer when a lot of vehicles come there. So they were trying to create this electronic parking where cars will be able to be charged or something like that. Many people travel with electric cars nowadays. I did understand what they were trying to do during that time. But the most interesting story here is when I got to the water and stripped off my clothes and jumped into the water. There were some families which were out there. They were not so sure of what I was doing. So these guys ran quite close to thinking that I got crazy and ran into the water. And as I was trying to just swim under the water, just to see what is under the water. I mean, as a swimmer, I recently went to Denmark with these things. It was quite
Yes.
standalone. So in fact, we saw the same when it was here. But in your cargo. This one's a cargo. It's fun. It is fun.
Depends also with the season. The season we take them when.
In as much as it was summer, it's cold. It blows a mid-sea.
The wind blows.
Kwanza it blows powerfully.
Nice. Nice.
No, inside is warm. See,
Inside is hot.
but if you want to have a view of the sea, ile umetoka out kwa balcony, yeah. But the wind is so strong.
Which liner did you take?
Stena line.
Oh, the same one. Yeah, yes, is what we take to cross to Norway. Where were you crossing to?
To Fredriksson in Denmark. From Gothenburg.
Oh, from Gothenburg.
It's fun.
From Gothenburg, that is more of a transport kind of a liner.
It's luxury because it just roams around the sea. The distance is
Yeah,
not
it does
far.
the whole. Yeah, you pay some 90 kronas and you do the whole circle, something like that. It's different.
No, it was more than 90 crowns. Because food is there, buffet, what they try to do is they try to win at one day. So it's like you leave in the morning, you fika jioni.
And you come back.
If you like, you can come back. But as having enjoyed a whole day in the, then a whole night, it's not. But it's beautiful. And then wakona playground ya watoto, nini, everything, pubs.
They have around 5 pubs. Each level has.
I saw one near bikers too. There's a group walingia na motorbike, yani wale ride kule a whole gang. So wakona kona yao. Then truckers.
Wanajipenda bikers.
And then truckers. These are transport guys. So all bedrooms and everything reserved for them. How wanaingia what they want to do, wanaenda wana have their dinner, table was done, wanaingia bed straight.
Oh, them they are at work.
Yeah, them they are at work.
So they're going to take
so hao ndio wamepewa hiyo deck ya juu na silence. So madam also filmed one. Hiyo ni ya madogi tu. Paka kuna dog toilet. Nini? So there's class for everybody. Then kuna watu wa first class, of course, guys who don't want to mix.
You want to have their own privacy.
Then there are pubs and restaurants.
supermarket. So me, I zooped. You know, we bought beers the other side, they were cheap. Yes, Kuba not buying there. This supermarket here are duty free.
It's more expensive.
Ikibaki like 10 minutes ikiti na dog. Ndio watu wanakimbia.
Good no.
Watu wa Swedish au
Let's say
pombe.
Denmark alcohol is cheaper than Sweden.
Na kuambia watu wanatoka na pombe. So they don't sell you just the beer. Inaenda na trailer na hiyo the whole thing. So unaipata pamoja na trailer ya kuisukuma. So wanakuuliza unataka half a trailer? Full yeah, so
Beautiful, beautiful, almost like a sunny day. I mean, it was not really sun, but it was so much light. And it could be so tempting that you'd go out without a real jacket thinking that it's a warm day, but it was pretty cold. I think it was about -2. And then it was a perfect day that I'd thought of doing many things. So we decided that that's a day that we are going to go to Hague. But before that, I went to check in the swimming pool. And I found that the swimming pool was reserved for school children on that day. The gym was closed. We got some food in Lidl. I was so excited to see a Lidl supermarket there. And then we went back to the town, the Monster town. One of the most thrilling places was a huge second-hand shop where we saw a lot of antique stuff, and yeah, we just passed a lot of time there and waiting to get the buses, because kind of like buses were getting rare on that day. We wanted to buy a few things in the hardware to get the seals for the window. I found that my sister's house was very cold, so I thought of putting new lists on the windows and on the doors so that it could be warm. The hardware was actually closed, and then outside there was a huge open air market parking at the Monster, where a lot of vehicles were selling classic cheese and sausages. Hague was real. It was real, and what hit me first was the notion of the understanding of this Christmas thing. I really got surprised. And I mean, I grew up in Nairobi, Kenya, where Christmas was a big thing, and we kind of like have night church services and celebrating the birth of Christ Jesus, and it's a big thing. And apart from that, if you are brought up in Kenya, you'll find that in the old tradition, there was something like guys would leave the city, travel to the villages to meet their loved families, and that would be in December. And it was such a big thing, and it was quite a big deal. Where will you spend your Christmas? And yeah, people went to the villages, uh, and I grew up knowing that. And then with time came the pictures of Santa Claus, and the 25th thing, and and the bag of presents, and hoo. Um, but in Holland, none of these exist. Totally none of these. Because when I moved into Sweden, there is the Tomte, which works out as the Santa Claus. I mean, that's pretty understood. But this one in Holland, it shocked me. And it's not even anywhere close to the 25th. It was somewhere much earlier. And it was actually on the 8th, I think, between 8th and
It's Christmas time. It's the Royal Vintage. Oh, Royal Vintage.